Alright guys, we are going live now, going to the game. On the left, we've got Mike. We've seen him once before. He's playing Blue-White Control. On the right, we have Ryan, who is playing another version of Red-White Burn. I'm here with a new person. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Joe Felber.
Alright, Joe. So you're a pretty big Standard player then, correct?
I dabble.
Dabble? Well, you said you played against.
I played against Ryan in the first round.
So tell me a bit about his deck since you know firsthand.
It's very quick. The new Satyr Fire Dancer is pretty ridiculous. When you Boros Charm to the person and then do 4 damage to their Storm Breath Dragon.
Did you see Searing Blood get played at all?
Searing Blood is definitely good with that also, because he does 2 damage to my creature, it dies, 3 damage to me, and then with the Satyr, it does another 3 damage to another one of my creatures. It does a lot of work.
Certainly seems to be pretty good. It looked like Mike took a mulligan, so he's going to go down to 6. Being a control player, I see that control has a really good matchup, but what were you playing against the Bird deck before?
I was playing mono red with the splash white.
That seems pretty.
And he just had all the answers to my creatures, and then I couldn't get Nykthos off, and it was downhill from there.
Looks like Ryan quickly going to bottom that with his Temple. We see a Syncopate, Temple Silence. I saw something else in there. I think he knows kind of what's going on. I'm going to keep that on top. You see a Young Pyromancer right off the bat. Now, I saw this deck played by someone else before. He didn't have as good results, but he wasn't running Pyromancer.
The game 1 that I played against him, he had 2 Pyromancers, and one after another, and when you're getting 2 tokens every turn, it's hard to fight against, especially when you can't overload your Mizzium Mortars.
So we're going to see Mike take 2 damage from the Young Pyromancer, followed with a... Well, he's actually not going to take the damage, I don't think. He's going to have that Celestial Flare. What does he crack back with?
Shock.
Looks like he got him with a shock. So he's still going to take 2 to the face. And now he's got a wonderful token. Has he resolved anything with the Celestial Flare? Oh, it's not done yet.
Oh, he's putting another token in play.
He's going to take 3 more.
Down to 15.
Down to 15. That's a pretty, as you said, that is a pretty fast start. Having 2 1/1s back behind it is not very bad either. 4th one.
Does he have a Supreme Verdict?
I didn't see one in his hand. Doesn't look like he has. Looks like he's got a Syncopate, an Elspeth, and another land. This is not the start you want if you're a control player, but I can see slightly that
Chandra's Syncopate.
that's not going to last. Absolutely not. And it's exile. Down to 13 now. Yeah, I think you're hoping for at least a Supreme Verdict, but instead you're going to draw Temple of the
Jace would be nice.
Jace would be fantastic. Total blank against the 1/1s. The Temple of Deceit. Mike decided it's good enough to keep, so he's going to put that back on top. And a Magma Jet.
Return Magma Jet. Strides 2, looks like a Mutavault. Put him on top.
He's going to take 2 more. So things just keep looking better and better for Ryan, but control players like to take a little time. Looks like he cycled in the Azorius Charm, I think. Can't really see that card, it's just off the edge. Elspeth. That would be pretty decent from the get-go. Ooh, he's holding on to a Rev. I don't know how well you want to go into a Skullcrack. Elspeth it is. I'll plus it really quick. So does he have?
Skullcrack 1 sideboard, 3 main.
Which makes a decent amount of sense. But it is pretty nice to stop the 1/1s from coming through every turn now. Ooh. Searing Blood's going to take care of 1 room.
3 damage to Mike.
Right to the brain. And as you said,
Do you just keep sneaking that little bit of damage in here and there?
He's going to take at least 1 point of damage. Now throw 2, take 1. So Mike is now down to 5, and, you know, he'll die to 2 cards, it seems.
Yeah. So when they're shocking us, so I see there's a mountain in Ryan's.
Looks like you got a pizza.
Mike Allen's going to take over.
I actually got a comment.
Well, you know, we got someone that can jump in real fast. Elspeth had just +1 to create 3 more tokens. And Ryan, continuing to put on pressure with a Mutavault. Looks like he's going to get rid of the Mutavault, happily just clear this whole mess up. But an Elspeth, by herself, could be pretty big.
Could be very dangerous, I think.
Ooh, that's pretty nice. Looks like he's got a rev for 3? Yes, 4.
He might start the digging out process.
Getting back up to 9 life is okay. The life gain even more relevant than it's normally been, but cards are everything in this matchup.
It looks so much different on this side of the camera.
Last time I checked, is that an elixir? We're not messing around at all.
Pad his life total even more, making himself more safe.
And that's +4 life. Yeah, 13. Ryan hasn't played anything too significant. He did play Skullcrack, did he not? I don't know when he made that relevant, so maybe he played the
Oh, he's
Skullcrack.
scooping it up. It looks like he's conceding to Elspeth.
Yeah, because all she has to do is ultimate, and everything after that is highly relevant. I'm really impressed with this version of the red-white deck. We had seen it before, but Searing Blood's huge, and there are a couple extra spicy cards. As it looks like people are starting to sideboard, I see, you know, if I were Mike, I see an Archangel of Third, which I consider bringing in if we ever got to that level. Fiendslayer Paladin's very good. A Jace would be okay. And possibly a Blood Baron. Kind of open.
Since he's going against a control deck, I don't think that the Chain to the Rocks are going to be much of a factor from Ryan's deck. He might bring additional pressure with Fire Drinker Satyrs, trying to speed it up and not let the Sphinx's Rev become such a big deal. Skullcrack will definitely be coming in to battle the Sphinx's Rev and any other life gain that Mike has, I think.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Well, while they're shuffling up, I'll let Joe back in so I can get into the Legacy. I'm in Standard and Legacy now, so I got work to do.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Seems like the sideboarding's still going on as we speak. Ryan seems pretty set. You know, he knew the Skullcrack was pretty good. Mike's thinking it over. We see at least 2 cards coming in. I think those will most likely be the Fiendslayer Paladins. But what would he take out? I think as we look at his list, it seems like Detention Sphere would be pretty decent. I'm looking, that's what he had cast. Divination to draw some cards. I think if we take out the Quicken, there's no need for it. Oh no, I don't think too many control players are used to playing a burn deck like this. Or what I'd almost consider a true mono red deck.
Yeah, it's, well, especially now, I'm sure he's taking out the Chain to the Rocks.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's not really going to hit much of anything. And if anything, it's just going to lose him a card, not deal any extra damage. I think with a burn deck, from my experience, you kind of want to do enough damage so whatever they can gain back is rather irrelevant. Skullcrack was used pretty nicely against a Revelation, but with as many cards as the control player got, Mike was pretty happy with it. I think that's like the actual first judge call of the day. People have been pretty good at regulating themselves. So, you're not playing this.
No, I am not playing this.
Well, either am I, so we are both in the same boat.
I'm actually, I got out of Magic for a while, and I got back in Return to Ravnica. And so I'm building back up to Legacy.
Yeah, that's not something very easy to invest in. If you were to play Legacy, what would you play now?
I'm probably going to go with Fish Sticks. I just have I really love Lord of Atlantis. It's one of those nostalgia things for me.
Yeah, I mean, the fish decks are pretty decent. Looks like the game started up again as we lead off with another young Pyromancer.
It's like a Sacred Foundry in Ryan's hand.
Doomblade, take it. It's pretty good to see Doomblade get used. We haven't actually seen a resolve Doomblade yet. So everything else has been a bit of mono black or an aggressive deck.
Chandra's Phoenix.
Throws it right on down. And you would imagine Chandra's Phoenix being incredibly good still.
Absolutely.
Take burn to the face, I get my...
Without exiling it, it becomes a problem. But we could see a detention sphere here.
And without a doubt, he I wanted to do this the whole time. And I don't think the red deck has anything to remove him.
No, he kept the wear and tear at home.
Looks like a Boros Charm in his hand from what I saw. He's shuffling Killer Like. Is that a Warleader's Helix as well?
Yeah, yep, there's a Warleader's Helix in there. Maybe and a Boros Charm?
Yeah, definitely a Boros Charm. With a turn like that, Mike being on the play, that's really proactive and really strong. To Doomblade, followed with a Detention Sphere, and those are the targets that you'd expect them to be aiming after. There's not too many creatures in Ryan's deck. It's still nothing really happening from Ryan. Feels like he almost took a mulligan before.
Yeah. He's probably trying to make sure he can get his damage through any counter spells.
And you know, he's at least getting something in there with a Magma Jet. I think he's gonna resolve. I don't know if he put anything on the top or the bottom, but now we get ourselves a Fire Drinker Satyr. And is that a Divination? Or a Desires?
One card must have been.
Gotta been a Charm. For another one? Or was it? No, it was his Quicken.
Oh, he kept the Quicken in. Okay.
I guess. I mean, it allows you to.
Was it
I mean, when I look at his list, you can Divination on your opponent's turn for an extra card for an extra mana. I don't know. Oh, Supreme Verdict trolling.
Supreme Verdict is definitely.
That's enough.
That's a good card.
Yeah, that's gonna give him some life, but you're gonna take 4 instead. Coming down to 12. I've actually been double Boros Charm before, and it was probably the most salty I've been about Magic in a long time. Ooh, Toil and Trouble.
I've won a couple
I'm trying to remember.
matches with on the back of 2 Boros Charms against Control.
So, Toil and Trouble. I'm trying to remember offhand. I never see that card get played.
Toil, I believe, is somebody draws 2 cards and takes 2 damage.
Well, he didn't cast that. But Trouble,
And the trouble is you take damage equal number of cards in your hand, I believe.
So he took 4 on his turn. But he's gonna gain 2 and back anyways with the Paladin. I assume he's at 12. He's gonna take 2 more. Oh no, you're gonna get Celestial Flared. He's just gonna lose it. It's pretty good to see Celestial Flare still being used for something.
Yeah.
And in this matchup, looks like he's gonna get
Color.
troubled again. He's like, nah, we're gonna syncopate that. Get that out of here. It's never coming back. Mike having the first world problem of I have too many lands. What do I do with them? Yeah, we'll get in there for 2 again. It's at 14, and Ryan's actually at 16 now because he's taken a couple smacks. Is that a Gildeed?
Yeah, he was running Gildeed.
He's still going to take 2 more. Mike might be taking control of this now that the life totals have actually changed.
Warleader's Helix, putting Ryan up once he gets counter.
Yeah, it's going to get dissolved. Or another syncopate. That card is going as well. You know, Mike's a pretty fast player, it seems. Dropping cards. Here's a verdict, but why would you verdict in this situation? Keep the party going. Life gain is a burn player's biggest bane. Looks like he's gotten another Warleader's Helix, though. And there's another counter spell.
Subscribe to the bottom.
Probably gonna go for another good top deck. Another Warlord, or is that in this? It's a Warlord's Helix.
It's a Warlord's here. It's a Forest Gemstones. Yeah. I think that looked like a lightning strike.
I'm not sure, but now would be a good time to start getting something going.
It's 11 damage in his hand.
There's another Jace in Mike's hand that I saw, and another card put on the bottom. Take a Warrior's Helix. Alright, that's going to drop Mike down to 14, or 16 again. Ryan's going to go back up to 14. Did he follow up with anything? Another attack. The life totals are constantly changing. Ryan's at 12, Mike's at 14. That 2 Boros Shrooms? There's 4. He has double Boros charmed him. Elspeth, and he's just gonna say, "Yeah, I can't stop that." So,